Passport. Well, I'm all packed up. I'm ready to go. I bet you're wondering where I'm going. Well, what were probably empty words quite a few months back have now come to fruition. I made some jokes at the end of last year when the fishing was starting to get really tough with some friends over in the UK. You know, they were doing pretty well. And so I said to them, boys, I probably have more luck on your side of the pond than on mine right now. And they chuckled and said, well, why don't you put that theory to the test? Needless to say, with 3 months of planning now, finally complete, the boys over in the UK have really put together probably the itinerary of a lifetime for me. I'm not going to tell you quite yet what venues I'll be fishing. I'll save that for when we get there. But the journey is about to begin. I hope that you're as excited for me as I'm excited right now because I'm buzzing, man. Let's go! Long ways to go. C32. Long way to go. Long walk. Well, there's a few hours yet till we fly out, and I think it would be rude not to. Cheers. Here we go. Well, I'll tell you what, that doesn't look half bad. I'm gonna have to give it a go, I think. Cheers. Flight to Birmingham, which time I will meet up with Paul and the lads. We'll be heading off to our very first location. It's been a pretty uneventful journey thus far. No complications. Actually running quite ahead of schedule, and I can't ask for much better than that. What a welcoming party. How you doing, Paul?
Good to see you, man.
Good seeing you, man.
Come on.
Awesome, let's get going. Left the people in suspense long enough. Where's the first venue?
Yateley. Let's go.
Pads Lake, baby! Woohoo! Oh my goodness. Well, I'm about to walk into one of the most prestigious fishing tackle locations in all of the UK. Would you say so?
Absolutely.
I'm walking into the Yateley Angling Centre. We're going to have a little look around and then we're going to be heading right off to Pads Lake. Pads Lake, Paul!
Hey.
You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's get her on.
And I was sitting at 270, and I was like, no, that's not far from my target, mate.
It's unbelievable. We're here. Oh my God. Probably 8. And we still have another car coming, and apparently it's got even more stuff.
That's got the bait.
That's got the bait. Oh my goodness. We've had a good walk around the lake now, and wind's up a bit, so it's really sort of hard to spot any fish. We've seen some bubbling, which is a really good sign. And we've kind of figured out where we're going to be hosting our socials, and probably we're going to be sort of amalgamating for the beginning. We've gotten some really good insight from the bailiff, which has really changed the game for us. We're not coming on here blind now. We found out that most of the big fish and most of the fish in general have been caught on one particular part of the lake. So we're going to be hitting there first, obviously. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So we're going to go through this process. We're going to get the brawly set, the barrow set up. We're going to get everything out onto the lake, and then from there we're going to draw straws and figure out who's going where, right? Who's getting first choice, who's getting last choice, and with any luck, hopefully we'll all get in this week. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I get the first draw. And I saw a big fish crash right out in front of me, which is a really good sign. I've winged out a single to it at this point in time. I'm still getting the rod set up. I just had the bivvy set up over me. Cheers, Paul. And it's absolutely stunning out here. As you can see, I'm wearing a t-shirt. It's like 15 degrees out here. And doing all this setting up is getting me quite hot and sweaty. But I think it's going to be an adventure, to say the least. To think that in this lake there's 100 fish. And 30 of them are over 30 pounds. And it's a puddle. It's unreal. What a beautiful place. Check this out. Check it out. What a swim. Incredible. Well, update time. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And we've only really been in the water for about 2 hours now. Well, both rigs in anyway. And I'm actually getting some indications, which is quite a shocker. I've been plumbing around quite a bit, bouncing the rods around and, trying to figure out where there was some proper ground to present a bait on. And I found 2 good spots for the 2 rods I have in. And on the right hand rod, I've been getting quite a few indications on a gravel bar. It's about 15 yards out. And on my left hand rod, I just switched over to something else as I got my hands on some naturals. From what we gather here, from the intel from the bailiff, the carp have been taking on maggots, and so we don't have any lively maggots, but we do have earthworms. So I'm trying something with an earthworm, knowing that there are perch and there are tension here. I'm trying to go for something that might slow down those nuisance fish. I'd actually take a tench. I'd be very excited for a tench, but a perch, not really what we're looking for. So fingers crossed. You know, I'm not super hopeful for a fish on the first night, but I mean, I'm getting some indications, and I think Paul's had a couple, and Phil's had a few show in his swim. Andrew, unfortunately, hasn't had much of anything. He doesn't feel like he's on them yet, but good old Andrew, he'll probably move at some point, and he'll be on them. He'll get the biggest one, you watch. So, fingers crossed. Wow, big fish just crashed. Big fish crashed in Phil's swim. Massive fish. Oh, that's exciting. Here's hoping something comes soon.
It looks good this end.
Well, as you can see behind me here, what started off as an absolutely beautiful day here at Pads is ending with an equally beautiful evening. The sun is setting on Pads, and our first day here is slowly coming to a close. I think very shortly some of the lads are going to be making their way around the lake and joining myself and Phil, who's just right beside me here in the pole position swim. And we're going to be having a little barbecue or something. I'm not sure what we're actually doing for dinner tonight, but I know there's curry somewhere this week, and I'm really looking forward to that. But we're going to have some food, you know, we're going to share some stories, have a proper little social, and with any hope. I mean, the fish have been showing, so they're obviously about, and I mean, we've been getting a couple of knocks here and there, so I mean, they are swimming through our baited areas. With any luck, maybe we're rudely interrupted in the middle of the night by something. And as I've said before, based on the stock of this lake, if we get a fish, it's a really good chance it could be a good one. There's 100 fish in this lake, and 30 of them are over 30 pounds. That is absolutely incredible. That's like a 1 in 3 chance that you're going to get a 30+ pound fish, if you get any at all. I'm still hopeful, and I think if we have any action in the next little while the sun's still up and we still have light, then we'll be sure to bring you some footage of that. But if not, you know what? I think that it's a good way to start out. It's a good humbling experience for myself. I'm, quite privy. I think we all are in North America. The fishing is just almost too easy there. But, I think it's going to make the reward that much more sweet. So, fingers crossed. Let's go get some food. Well, gentlemen, now that we're all on the same side of the lake, I just want to say a huge thank you. Obviously, this has been a couple of months of planning, and you've all taken some time out of your schedules. And you welcomed me with open arms into...
Well, to be fair, it's only because I paid.
Well, thank you, Paul, for paying for this. I mean, this is obviously so big. Yeah, everybody thank Paul. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah,
Thanks,
cheers,
Paul.
cheers, mate.
But you gentlemen have all taken time out of your work schedules, and I mean, you welcomed me into a group of friends that have obviously been friends for significantly longer than myself and Paul. So I just want to say cheers. Here's to some productive days.
Yeah, cheers, Will.
Cheers, Will.
It's your first English 30.
Definitely.
Lovely. Cheers.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Yeah.
Oh, let's hope
Curry
this curry
time.
is good. Curry. Let's go, curry.
Right, a quarter of what you had there. No, a quarter, not a half. No, go on then.
Go on and put airs on your lungs. Phil?
Silly boys, they think they can scare me with their spicy sauce.
Right, well, I can scare you in a minute. We'll switch it tomorrow.
That's dinner right there. Look at that. It's quality cooking. Well, good morning and welcome to day 2
at Yateley Pads. Bit of a brisk one this morning. It was quite cold last night. No fish were making their presence known at all. None of us had a bump, and there was no boshing or anything in the pads or even out in the center of the lake. You know what? We're getting super serious this morning. We've all got the distance sticks out. We're mapping everything out. We've just had a sort of a play around with the deeper to have a look at some features and whatnot. We found some clear areas that we didn't know were even there, so we're now putting rigs out there. But yeah, with any luck, as it really starts to warm up today, those fish will get active and find the few baited areas we have. Maybe we can get ourselves into a Pads Lake carp. Wouldn't that be stellar? I'd even take a tench at this point, a Tommy tench. But hopefully it starts to warm up soon here. I'm going to need another coffee. Fingers crossed. We're still very hopeful. Couple of pike right here in the margins, hiding out around the tench retainer. Almost wish you had a dead bait or a jerk bait right now. I bet you they'd smash it. Right, just running over to Paul here now. Apparently he's on a fish. Playing one as we speak. Hey, you are, pal? Atta boy. Oh. How's it feel, mate? Well done, man. Well done. Didn't bring my receiver or anything with me. I think while my alarms are up, though. You want me to try over here then? First fish so far. You mind holding that for us? Just keeping it on Paul. Appreciate that.
Where do you want me to take them all? So you worry about it far off that. Maybe? Yeah.
Get your net right down in the water ready.
Yeah.
Right in the water ready. Just steady pressure. Oh, that's it. Sing that net right down. Sing it right down. So you can go over the top. No, that's it. There you got him.
Yes, Paul. Yes, Paul. Oh, yes, Paul. Oh, that's a lump. That is an absolute lump.
Is it?
Right, if you want to,
Oh, yes.
you want to sort this out.
Oh, Paul.
That's it.
Cheers, mate.
I know what I got.
There you go, mate. Let's get the kit ready.
Ooh. Oh my goodness, look at the size of that! Oh my god.
Not shaky, but
It is
it's a 30.
£40.
No way.
8.
40 pounds, 8!
£40 8.
Whoo, Paul!
You want to confirm that? Anyone?
I can see it. We've got it
Oh,
on
it's on.
video, mate.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Paul,
Yeah, mate.
how big was that fish?
I think he's a good 30.
Yeah, at least, eh? How many years?
You work it out. 1979.
1979 you've been fishing.
Yeah.
40 years.
But to be fair, don't judge because you'll be like, I'm a really bad carp angler.
30 years.
Right.
This is the face of a man who just caught a 40 right here.
Let's get it done. Where's that light?
I fish for fish, not for weights. And that's the difference. And that's the difference of it.
Need to be careful of that. My shadow, because I need to get in.
That's alright, mate.
Try that the other way, Jack.
Stand at the other side. Oh my god, what a fish. Oh, that's it.
Right. You just lift him up. Is that like that? Let himself.
Okay, right.
Plenty of water. It'll make him.
Yeah, calm it.
It would make him hard to hold, though.
Yeah, it just needs a bit. Alright.
I love these photos, though. These kind of ones.
Came down.
This is the best part.
The observer. Okay, buddy. Okay.
You don't know you caught a fish until it's beating you to death.
Couldn't have happened to a better chap, I don't think. Well in, Paul. What a monster.
If he gets too heavy for your arms, put him down, Paul. Yeah. If he twitches, roll him back straight in towards you.
Can you just move back a little bit, Ray? Because your shadow's just
Perfect.
that.
What an incredible specimen.
Right, gonna have to put down this for
2 seconds.
Yeah.
I've got clean socks.
Right into his socks. Does he even care?
No, I do not.
Worth every second. One last look at an absolutely monstrous fish from the Pads Lake. Yes, give him a shower.
Nice ball.
Oh, well in, Paul. Give it a kiss, Paul. Give it a kiss.
Go on, girl.
Go on, sweetheart.
There he goes. Straight in the bite.
Yes.
Yes, Paul.
Yes.
Well, how about that? 40 years Paul has waited for a fish like that. 40 years. That's justice, I think. I think that's very, very just. And we're approaching 24 hours now on Yateley so far. And the sun is out once again. It is beautiful out here again. And I think this is what is waking the fish up once again. I've seen a couple of rolls now, and they're getting closer and closer to me. I'm just hoping that the rig that I've put out now is what they're looking for. I've gone with more of a natural approach, as it seems that this lake has seen a lot of pressure from pop-ups and the sort, and now I'm going with the naturals, because of course that's what's really hatching at this time of year. You've got natural baits coming up through the silt, so I've put out something very natural, and if it works, like I said, if it works, I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I'm doing. I think I'll just keep it under wraps just in case it turns out to be a giant flop. Either way, it's looking good, you know? We haven't blanked as a unit. That's pretty exciting. Fingers crossed that there's a couple more for us to come. Oh, yeah, Carpy. There you go.
Well, looking carpy.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Thank you.
No problem. Lovely. Thank God there's going to be a musical montage.
Bit of banging jungle.
Yeah. Put that right there.
Is that selfie?
Yeah, it's selfie mode now.
Yeah, okay. You trying to look cool?
Trying.
Yeah, I'm worried.
Failing.
Yeah.
Well, so far we're coming to the end of day 2 here at Yateley Pads. Paul has been the only one to catch, and I think that's fitting, seeing as he put all this together, that he be rewarded with not only a significant fish, but his personal best and one of the biggest fish in the lake. I think that is just. I think that is very just. I've got the rods in. I have confidence. The rigs that I have in, I think are going to work. And Paul thinks so. Bailiff thinks so. Everybody thinks so. It's just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. And it's the true saying that you don't blank. You just run out of time. Because at some point, these fish are going to be in that swim. They're going to see that natural presentation and they're going to pick it up, right? I mean, they're just fish, right, Paul? They're just.
Oh yeah.
They're just fish, right, Paul?
Doing nothing wrong, Will.
Okay. I feel that way too. I'm convinced that I'm not doing anything wrong. It's just the fish just aren't here. And I mean, they're just waking up too. Like, the water is just approaching the double digits now in temperature. So it's just beyond ice, really. So they're just waking up. They're a little bit lethargic still. It could happen at any minute. So we're keeping the faith. And what's for dinner tonight, Paul?
Barbecue tonight, bud.
Barbecue tonight? So really, it's a win-win anyway. We'll keep you updated if anything happens. Well, I've got the kettle boiling. I'm gonna have one more cuppa before the night is through. It's been quite uneventful. Since probably 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon, when I had a couple of liners on my line. It's incredible. The fact that there's actually 100 fish in here still boggles my mind. It still boggles all of our minds. Because we figure, where the hell could they be? It's such a small lake. But they assure us that the stock is correct. So, if anything, they're just really playing an elusive game at this time. But we're going to look to see if there's any need to switch tactics in the morning, and which time we will. But the kettle's boiling, so I better get to it. See you in the morning unless something really spectacular happens. Rudely awoken. Actually, you're quite polite about it, weren't
Yeah, yeah.
you?
I can do it rude if you want, Will.
No, I don't want to rude. I was quite peacefully napping, and I hear a very soft voice
That was nice.
saying, was it you? Oh, that's all right. And they said that all they said was PB. Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding, mate. Come on, let's go.
Well, let's go.
Let's
Let's go.
go.
A PB. He's already had a bloody 40. What more does he need? Unreal. Let's go find out. Paul, there is yet another 40 in this retainer. What are the statistical chances, Phil, of waltzing into Pads Lake and having 2 40s then?
pretty slim, mate. But he's going to be doing the lottery this week.
Yeah, he better go grab a ticket. Well, let's have a look then. Holy look at the... You don't even have to take it out yet.
No.
Look at the size of that thing.
No, I did that when I swim, mate.
Oh my... That's the single scale.
Yeah.
Is that a
Literally.
main fish?
Ray was talking about this fish just this afternoon, you know?
The mug.
The one with the single scale on the side. So apparently, Phil, we're on the wrong side of the lake.
Yeah, that must be nice.
It would seem
We were on the right side of the lake.
at some point.
Can somebody take the sling if I lift?
If you roll him forwards, Paul, roll him back.
He's rolling off it for you. He already knows the drill. Apparently.
Cheers. Hang on, there's a
Shake it.
Gather round.
Yeah.
You actually
Steady,
got,
but you
have
need
you
a
actually
torch.
got, have you actually
I
got
got
a
one.
steady reading on that?
Yeah.
That was spot on, was it?
It was.
That's right. I'll just stick it on.
It looks-
Get as much
Right,
light
you
on
think
me
it
as
looks
you can.
bigger?
Bloody vigor, doesn't it?
I was
Yeah.
just thinking about putting on a tripod to make sure it's definitely.
We had it on our shoulders on a bar,
Was it? That's fine. Though.
and we did it separately.
Right. Are we ready to go, lads?
I'm videotaping right now,
Do you
Paul.
want some on your camera, Paul? Feel to do any?
Yeah, that's just a good idea.
I'm holding the light at the minute, mind.
Yeah, good. Well, you've got your camera, Andy?
I have, but I'm not that confident in the night shots with my eyes, Paul.
I'll get some shots on my phone too.
You got water in there.
You're beating you up a little bit there,
It's half
Paul.
full.
Yes, Paul. Oh my goodness. The single scale. Look at that. What a fish. What's the official weight, Paul?
Fucking heavy.
What's that? 41.8, I think.
41.4.
41.4.
41.4, is it? I thought it was 41.8. I don't care.
41.4.
Another 40. Unbelievable. What a beautiful fish, Paul. The single scale on the side. Ray was talking about this one this afternoon. Unbelievable. How you feeling, baby?
Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
All right, let's get this baby back. Yeah, it's just quite cold.
What a mild night.
Another 40. And as we said before, it couldn't have happened to a better chap. Well in, man. Well in.
Push the sling away a bit.
Yeah, pull it out, mate. Pull it out.
I got it. Yeah. So another PB for Paul.
In his pants.
Yeah.
Get there, Paul.
So long, sweetheart.
Look at the fucking chunk.
Back to the depths.
Look at
Go
the
on,
chunk on that. You saw that feeding in the margins. You
Okay, full.
50.
That's a dinker. Isn't it?
Now, fire.
Goodbye, sweetheart.
Isn't it traditional to pour water over the cat's head?
You don't need to.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I think he's done it for himself, hasn't he? All right. Well done, mate.
Well in, man. Well in, boys.
Good show. Good show.
Cheers.
Well, I don't know what else to say. 2 40s. That's crazy. You know, Paul's had 2 40s. Oh my goodness. You know, it's surreal to think. The man's waited 40 years to even get a 30. And he has 2 40s in 24 hours. Welcome to Pads Lake, I suppose. This place is for dreamers. And I don't think it's, like I said before, I don't think it could have happened to a better person. It's quite fitting, it's quite just. He's brought us all together, and he's catching the big fish. Good on him. I think this might warrant me to have a move tomorrow if I don't have any action down at my end, because Paul's saying he's not even baiting really up there. Fish are just there. So I think that if I were to head out there and maybe put another lit rig in, there's a good chance I could have a fish out of there. Because there's nothing showing over me right now. There's no bumps or indications to want to keep me here. So yeah, come morning, we'll sort of weigh our options. See if maybe it's worth a move for the final night at Pads. Welcome to day 3. And if you can sort of have a look behind me, you'll note that I've changed my swim. I think it's well warranted after Paul had a second 40 from this side of the lake. I think it would be really foolish not to come over to this side and at least give it a go, at least for the day, if not for the night as well, for the final night here at Pads. Day 3, there's still lots of time to fish, and I've been in maybe about half an hour now. I've already had 2 liners on my 1 rod here, pointing right around the same area where Paul had his 40. I'm in the same bay as him, and he's very, not reluctantly even, he's been very kind to offer that up to me in hopes that I can maybe bag a good one too. Just a fish period at this point. But fingers crossed. You know, sun's just rising. It was around this time that we started seeing some action. I had a big crash in front of me just as I was arriving this morning too, which was almost like a, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the right side of the lake. But we're going to give it a go here. Of course, the time I leave, they start to show up. Incredible. Heading over now, and we'll see what happens when we get there.
I don't think he's quite. He was up on his side then, but he's not quite right with his tether.
That's it. Yes. Get in there. Yes.
Cool. Okay, thanks, mate.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
We're going to a tackle shop in a minute.
Fucking hell, look at that. There's a comment.
No.
No, oh, yeah, I just saw back the front.
Manny.
I
That is
reckon.
That's a good fish.
No, I'm just having a walk round.
what a cracker. It's leech,
Leech,
though.
very nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud?
Leech that.
Leech, is that? Oh, what an absolute critter. Can't see the net.
Bloody hell. £30.8.
What is it?
£30.8.
Sure,
Called it.
I looked in at the back.
I'll
Now
be up at
that I'm an
Isn't
expert
it?
with these size fish, Andy. Now that I'm an expert with these size fish. I called
Yeah,
that.
you are. You caught 30.
Yeah, you never caught 30.
He's well leeched, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's in the weeds.
Funny how you get used to looking at bigger fish, isn't it?
Is it?
No, yours, that's what I mean.
Oh, sorry.
Nice fish, yeah.
That's far.
I like it. He made sure his hat was in the right.
I've had so many photos of my hat down at stupid angle.
That's all right. Call your fucking combo.
Oh, what a cracker.
Hang on, it's not ready. Okay.
Well done. Beauty.
Whoa.
Let's just pour some water. My hand's far enough round.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's a
Do
long
the other
old
side.
fish, mate.
Other side.
Phil had his rods out all day because he wanted to rest his swim. Took his drone out, flew it around a bit, saw some absolute lumps in the pads, put the rod in the pads, and Phil's been away. How you doing, Phil? Right on, man. I've come to understand that you've had a fish. What are you tending the food too?
Tench.
A tench?
A tench.
No way.
Yeah, afraid so, mate.
Oh,
Tench.
that's still better than a blanket, isn't it?
Well, you'd say so. Not really.
Well, there we are. So it was a tench, but it's a sign of life. It's been a particularly quiet day. Oh, I didn't know it was a tench. I couldn't hear you guys from across the
That's what
pond.
you're saying. Don't worry, it's tench.
Oh, I thought you were saying, don't worry, it's in the net. So, anyway. Oh well,
Oh well.
sign in for the next update.
Sign.
Tonight.
We have a cheese course,
Nice.
followed by a main course of cheese.
Oh yeah, and then
And
for dessert.
we have a special dessert cheese.
Oh.
With washed down with a lively little port. I believe it's travelled well.
Right. That sounds fantastic. Well, I couldn't help myself. I'm on the opposite side of the lake. My rods, I pulled them out, obviously before coming over here, because if I were to get a run, I might be totally pooched by the time I would get over there. So, genius me decided I was going to bring one rod. I'm going to do this Canadian style. We're going to bring the one rod over, and I was going to throw it right on the same bar that Andy had one on earlier this afternoon. The rod's in, it's nice and close by to where we're having our little social gathering here. And I guess we're gonna have some cheese. And, you know, not to try to sound cheesy, but formidably, I could have one over there. It's locked up on a bar right now, and it's a solid donk. For a weedy lake, it's a proper gravel bar. So with any luck, the fish will hone in on it. Maybe I have one.
You know.
I do not believe this, but the rod that I threw out on that bar has just tightened up. I was fishing locked up. We're all sitting around here. We're actually filming some drone footage, and I'm into what feels like a very substantial fish. I can barely move it. He's mugging right in the bottom. You can see the bubbles coming up right where he is.
Is it snagged?
No, he's in weeds. He's coming in and out of it. I need a little bit of play on that. Come on, sweetheart.
It's good.
What a plan. I can't believe.
Go steady, Will. That's a small hook on there.
Worm?
Those are powerful rods.
Worm?
What
On
do you
the worm.
think? Say a bit later.
See, now he's come out of the weeds. He doesn't feel like a real monster, but a fish is a fish from a pressured water like this.
Definitely not a tench.
I don't think it's a tench. It's got some weight to it. If it's a tench, it's a double figure tench.
Oh, look for it, but I can't see it at the minute.
Take it steady, Will. Take it steady. Slow and steady. There's no rush.
Yeah, I don't think it's a monster voice, but a lot of weed on it too.
Oh, he's led there, yeah, there he is. There's his fish port. The clump of weeds swimming down at the moment. Now he's coming out,
It's a carp.
Still fight, and you've got a big clump of weed. He's
Yeah,
like 2
it's-
foot behind. Here he comes. Here he comes.
Make sure that clutch is nice and slack, Will. Sorry, I shouldn't tell you how to play a fish.
I've played some bigger.
I'm just nervous for you, buddy.
I'm nervous too, Paul. I really am. Stay away from that tree. He's hiding like a big one too, isn't he?
Yeah, it is.
It's a big one?
Well, I don't know. It's fighting like a big one.
It's not.
Does doing a damn good impression.
I think it's at least double figures, boys.
Yeah, I think you're safe there.
Come now, come now.
Oh my god. Nice, well, steady.
Bring him up to the surface if you can. He's ready to come in a minute.
Pads Lake. You owe me this much, Pads. Let's go. Come on. Get in that. Get in there. Head up, head up, head up, head up, head
Get
up.
in there if you can. Get him under the round up. You're in, you're in. He's in, he's turned. Yes, he's in. He's in. Lift him that. He's in. Lift him that.
Yes, he's in.
Yes, well done.
Yes! Stop, man.
Oh, well.
Everyone wave the drone. Everyone wave the drone.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah.
How many people have got a pipe and a tape, everything on the drone?
Oh.
You want?
Do I take that?
No, now.
I don't know. Very careful. Oh, we need a scale too. I need a scale. Oh my goodness. I don't think they come much prettier than that, do they, boys?
English mirror.
That's cracking.
Look at that. Look at that tail. What a perfect fish. Oh my goodness, let's get the net out.
It's going to be a big one, isn't it? In the show.
Yeah.
Unless he gets the guts on
That's
it.
a small, big fish.
Small big fish.
Yeah, if that makes sense, it is. It's going to be a big, it's got the frame to be a big.
I've had carp like that in Canada too, where you know for sure one day when they grow up they're going to be big. Oh. Are you ready, Paul?
We're ready.
Are you alright just
Come
doing it
down
on
to
that? Videoing or?
Yeah. Phil, do you want me to take, I'll take some photos now, okay, buddy? Don't get the sun too wet, that mate.
I won't.
We'll let it drip a bit.
There it is. One last look at my very first UK carp. All this waiting, and it's about to take off. Go on then, sweetheart.
Do you think that's a new Canadian record for a UK carp?
I don't know.
Look at that.
Get out of here.
See you next time.
Adios.
Quarter videos.
Yeah, flick the water.
Right.
Top man, Will.
Well done, mate.
Well done.
Yes.
Well done.
Yes, yes, yes.
Top sort of.
shaking.
That's what we need
Let's
to
have
do,
some
10
cheese. Shaking. I'm still buzzing about that catch. I needed that. I really did. And you can ask the guys. I'm a little bit more animated now. It's been what? How many hours have we been here now, boys? What time is it now? Who's got the time?
Like 50 hours?
50 hours. Has it been? Yeah, I reckon it's been about 50. Yeah, so about 50 hours we've been here now. And, like, I've been sitting here nibbling my nails off because I couldn't seem to figure out the lake. And then, just on gut instinct, I said, you know what? I'm going to take that rod with me to the other side when we have our little dinner gathering here. Took the drone up, and I had one. That happened, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
That is absolutely incredible. We're going to sit down and have our final dinner here at the pads. Our last night, boys. It's our last night. And Phil,
With cheese sweats.
you're going to wake up with cheese sweats, and Phil still got to have one. You still got to have a proper carp. It's tonight.
You never give that cheese alone.
That's right. So we have to be off this lake at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, which gives us, what's that, 17 hours?
A few hours, yeah.
Yeah,
Plenty
but
Enough time.
we have plenty of enough time.
There's another 40 out there, I believe.
Yeah, there is one more 40 in this lake that has still not been caught by us anyway. Paul, he doesn't just have the horseshoe up his rear end, he's got the whole bloody horse. But there's lots of bubbling and there's lots of hatches happening on the lake right now. It is absolutely gorgeous out here. Here's to one last night at Pads. I didn't blank. I didn't blank on this trip. I couldn't ask for much better than that. Yay! Woo! Woo! Initiation complete. All right, well, we're going to go and enjoy our cheese now. Looks like there's quite a cheese platter out here, so we're going to enjoy that. And if anything else happens, you know by now, we'll be touching base again soon. Well, here we are, settled in the bivvy for our last night at the Pads Lake. What an incredible adventure we've had. We've been really blessed. This is one of the most pressured waters in all of the UK. We literally turn up an hour or so after somebody had left, and someone is coming on right after us after we leave tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. But what an adventure. Paul having 2 40s, 2 of the 3 known 40s in this lake. That is a statistical improbability, and he managed to make it happen. So big ups to him. 40 years of angling, and he finally gets a fish over 30 pounds, and both of them are 40s. Unbelievable. And Andy on a 2-pound test curve, Rod Hutchinson Carboflex with an Abu Garcia 55 reel. You want to talk about a good time? That was it. He had it. And that lovely 30. Incredible fish. Phil has only had a Tommy Tench, which, you know what? Power to him, because apparently there's a significant less number of tench in this lake than there are carp. And he had one. So Phil's has sort of done something similar to Paul, I suppose. He's had a statistical anomaly as well. But if he could catch a carp, that would really complete this journey. And then, of course, my very first UK carp, a proper leather mirror. I'm still buzzing about it. I still can't believe it. And it all came down to just putting that rod in the right place at the right time. If I hadn't have made the decision to move it, I never would have had a fish tonight, I don't think. But I've got my rigs in now. I'm feeling really confident with what's out there. And yeah, if we're rudely interrupted in the night, be sure to let you know about it. But if not, hopefully I can get a really good night's sleep, and we can be well rested for maybe a quick morning bite. Fingers crossed. Here goes our last night at Pads. Here we are, packing it in. Rods are just coming out now. Paul's already got his bivvy broken down and pretty well everything else. The plan, I think, now is to go back on this gravel bar here, and I think we're all going to try to put a rod in. 1 rod each, just to see if maybe we can tease a bite. But there was plenty of indications this morning. starting around 3 o'clock this morning. Paul actually started having indication. And then I had an indication myself around 5 a.m. on my left-hand rod. Put the kettle on, came around to see Paul on this side, and my center rod came to life, ripped off. I picked it up all giddy and excited like a schoolgirl. Turns out it was a pike, but it was still pretty good to have another tug on the end of the line. And Andy over there, don't know if you can see him or not, standing there right by the swans. Andy has had a proper old school setup right in front of his bivvy there. He put the pan below, turned the reel on the side, pennies on top of the spool. Well, the pennies dropped, spool spun around. He picked up the rod, felt a couple of thuds, and then there was nothing there. So at this point in time, if Phil catches, that's all of us having one. And that's what we're really hoping for now, is that Phil can get into a fish. So I think that's going to be our main goal for this morning, is putting Phil on one. But, obviously, another fish would be just a blessing. Here's hoping that in the next couple hours, we can finish this off on a real high note.
About 1 hour left. I've grabbed a rod, stalking around the lake, worms, looking for signs of fish. 10 minutes in the right spot, better than 60 in the wrong. So,
Absolutely. Well,
fingers crossed. Well,
just down the laneway there stands Phil. And he is in a prime location. There's actually been a few fish showing over him. So, fingers crossed. We're all hoping for you, Phil. Let's conclude this the right way. We've done a full 72 hours on the pads. And, well, we all caught.
we did, yeah.
We did all catch.
Just not all carp.
Not all carp, but we all caught, so I say that's a result.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a
Good team
result.
effort.
Ray,
Yeah.
thank you so much. You have a beautiful fishery.
Yeah, you all have a safe journey home.
Oh, we
and
will.
Hope to see you again.
Oh, I think you might. I might come back. Yeah, I might come back. But we'll see you guys on the road, heading back to the Yateley Angling Center, pick up a few bits. Then we're gonna go check out the next water that we'll be taking on for Friday until Sunday. So we'll see you in the car.
Cheers.